Hello, welcome to my channel. The first thing I want to do while I think of it is to thank all of you who have subscribed and liked. That helps the algorithm find my channel, and I really appreciate your doing that, and I want to say a big thank you. And then I also want to tell you that I didn't get any painting done last week because I was working on a new project. I'm trying to make a board game for families because we have quite a stretch of ages in our families, and you need to make something that's interesting for everyone and that everyone can keep up with and people can help other people's. It's a challenge for some people, a memory test for others. So I hope you like it. I will show it on YouTube when I finished it, which should be within about a few days to a week. I don't want to promise anything, but I'll put it up as soon as I can. So I put up a panel and did a painting with my usual colors: titanium white, primary yellow, raw sienna, raw umber, French ultramarine blue, sap green, and alizarin crimson. Then using blue, yellow, green, and some alizarin crimson, I painted a background, and then I took a powder brush and blended the background to get that soft, blurry background. Sometimes I like to put more texture in, but today I wanted the delphiniums and roses to be the sharp focus. It's just a regular powder brush that I get them from the dollar store, and I use a crisscross motion just to blend. Using a round brush and raw sienna, I did an outline, just simple shapes of where my flowers would be. It just gives me an idea of how big the vase should be and the composition of the painting. I came across delphiniums recently, a photograph, and I fell in love with them. They're so stately and sort of fluffy and casual at the same time. They're very lovely flower, and they do come in different colors, but I chose to paint blue. And of course I had to stick some roses in there as well. I don't know if they are flowers of the same season. I know nothing about them. I'm not a gardener, and but I thought they'd go beautifully together. I did make the vase a little low down on the panel, and so I wasn't able to put a reflection of the vase in the tabletop. And I like to do that because I feel the more you can get in, the more interesting it is. And I missed the ability to do that altogether. I usually paint from the top of the canvas down to the base. So I started with the delphiniums, and I wanted a mixture of blues and paler blues and dark blues in there, just to give it a little more interest. When you look at those flowers, they have a lot of variation in the color, and it makes the flower stand out somehow. I'm really not a gardener, so I really don't know much about flowers, so I can't help you with that aspect. But I like to get a variation of color, even if it's the same color. So start off with the palest blue. It looks really as though it's white, but it's actually a pale blue. And then I put my darker blues down toward the base of the delphinium flower. The delphinium has quite soft, fluttery petals. As far as I could see, there were 5 petals to each bloom, each little bloom on the stem. So that's what I'm doing, and I think it looks good. I thought I'd paint the roses white, but I had a lot of blue in my brush. So here it looks a little bit better now. I'm getting more white on the canvas, and I pull the petals in from the outer edge down toward the center. I do the same with leaves. The leaves have a center vein, and I pull the shape of the leaf from the outside edge in toward the center vein, and for the flower in toward the heart of the flower. That works for me. I'm sure other people have different methods of doing this, but this is the method I use, and I end up with a flower that looks quite good, I feel. I usually plan my paintings in my head before I start them, and I didn't. I just picked up a brush, slapped some paint on a palette, and went to work. And I think if I had planned this better, I would have used raw sienna or maybe even primary yellow in the center of the flower to give me some color in the petals, something to work with, something to put my highlight on. But I didn't, and I don't always paint in a carefully planned way. I sometimes, as I did today, pick up a paintbrush and just slap paint onto the panel. I should say I'm using a canvas panel. They work well for me. They're easy to store. They're very slim, so you can store a bunch of those in the space that you would use to store a canvas. And I paint almost every day, so I need to be aware of my storage space. I don't have very much of it at the moment. I like to paint on paper too, and I can store that in a journal, which is a very good way of storing paintings if you produce a lot of stuff. I've been doing watercolor and pen recently, which I really enjoy doing. But I thought I'd do an acrylic today. I don't find roses as easy to paint in acrylics as I do in water mixable oils, and I think I'll do one of those for you and show you the difference. I'll do a similar painting in water mixable oils and show you how much more easily the paint blends right on the canvas. To make a glass vase look glassy, you have to be able to see through it. So the stems would show through the glass, the tabletop would show through the glass as well. I'm not sure I achieved that very well in this painting, but I did like the vase when I'd finished it. I thought it looked bright and showy, and I was happy with that. But I didn't think it looked as translucent as it could have. I decided to put a little pink on these petals, these lower petals, just for a little variation to make it different to the other flowers, the other roses. I wasn't paying close attention to light and shadow in this painting, I find. I was just enjoying myself, to be honest. I like messing around with the paint and just the whole action of painting. And I wasn't paying any attention to the rules. So you get what you get in this painting. I can't hold it up as an example for anybody, but I do like it. It had quite a liveliness, I feel, at the end, especially the vase. And I like it as a painting, but I don't think it's a great example of painting. So please be aware of that. I'll tell you what, we'll say that the light was coming from the front full on, so everything got highlighted. That's the best I can do, I think. That accounts for having not too much shadow and everything looking lit. Yes, that's the best plan. to have another go at these delphiniums. I don't think I've got enough variation in colour. And I also should tell you that I linked up with Printify and put a lot of my art on different items: pillows, phone cases, mugs, journals, you name it really. I've slapped it on absolutely everything because I wanted a way of showing my art that wasn't just on a canvas, because people have limited wall space, don't they? But it's nice to pick up a coffee mug, maybe with a piece of art that you admire or enjoy. And and I love to see my art on things, so it's fun for me. And I hope you'll go to Etsy, some people call it Etsy.com. I'll put the link in the description where you can go and see my work on other things other than canvases. And hopefully you'll buy some. It's just fun to sell, to be honest. And anyway, so I'm adding some different blues to these delphiniums to make them stand out a little bit more, which meant that I had to repaint the centers. I think I had too many centers anyway. And I was really quite pleased with the way this painting turned out. And I think I did put this on a pillow, and a tote bag. And it looked really nice, I've got to say. So I'll put the link in the description, and you could pop along and see those. I also like the way the vase turned out in this painting. I thought it looked very glassy and shiny, not as translucent as I would like, but I'm thinking it looks a bit sort of antique. I wish I had put it further up on the page so that I could have got a reflection in the tabletop. But that's my only regret. Otherwise, I think the painting turned out quite nicely. So thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. As I said earlier, that helps my channel grow. I'd very much appreciate it if you could take the time to do that. And I'll see you next time. I'm not sure with what, but I'll think of something. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I borrowed my daughter's GoPro, and I live in such a beautiful place. I thought I'd take you for a ride and pick out something to paint. That would be fun. And it's something different anyway. You can't do the same old same without getting bored. So I'll take you for a ride. We'll choose something to paint, and then I'll do the painting on YouTube. So I'll see you next time. Take care. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.